Okay. Okay. All right. One more thing. Okay, so I got a thumbnail. I just have to kind of take a leap. All right. So I figured out the thumbnail problem. It's kind of like the electrical tape situation, but that's okay. That's okay. All right. So I've got that. Oh, and uh, okay. So this is the new one. Um, That's the so I uploaded another 5-star experience. This is with a client. This is from uh, uh, working with it's one of the clients, obviously. And so this is a feedback. So I'm learning to incorporate feedbacks into my lives. I need to get used to it. Hmm. Yes. Yeah, my abilities, if you weren't looking, you would think, maybe they were clairvoyant. So, yeah. Hmm. So, I'm definitely. Oh, yeah, I needed to share. I needed to put this on. I need to do a Twitter. I want to put that thumbnail on a Twitter. Okay. I'm gonna choose I'm choosing a smiley face and smiley face and stars in my eyes. Okay. Whoops. I don't need that. Come on, come on. Okay. There we go. All right. So I've uploaded onto Twitter, and I probably should put it everywhere. Getting the hang of this thing. Okay. Start spreading my comments about me. Since clearly, yes, you're psychic. Okay. So I need to start placing feedbacks every channel it. My lifeline. All right. Oh, okay. I'll be right back. Mhm. Okay, now I'm solidly back. Okay, how long did that take? Had a lot of shenanigans. Okay, we're gonna let me see how long that took. We're gonna find out. 12 minutes. That's not that bad. Plus, I was doing additional things, so I wasn't just doing this a few things. I'll work on it. It's not that bad. I could start pulling in a little earlier, so I can land it on a dot. I think I have to start. I'm starting to become conscionable because basically my retention is going up, and so that's pretty important to me. Now that it's not so much okay, yes, people are visiting, but people are also are like sticking around and listening. And I'm talking about minutes. I'm not talking about seconds anymore. Seconds, yeah, that's yesterday. That's so yesterday. Like, oh wow, like 40 seconds. No, they're spending time in like minutes, and not just a couple of minutes either. So I'm thinking, oh boy, I didn't think I would that would even cause me to think about. But yeah, I'm starting to think about things that I have never thought about or usually don't. Anyway, this is one of them, and that is okay. How long is it taking me to get on here? The other thing is, so then I'm on here. Then what? So I said, oh yes, I need to make sure. I have my thumbnail. Okay, yes, my phone. Okay, I've got my microphone on, and yes, I have to sort that out. I'm figuring it. I'm learning it. So yeah, have the mic on, get the thumbnail for the day. Because I've always wanted the thumbnail that represents the live that I'm in and upload that. So, but the live stream actually creates a wonderful thumbnail, and I have I guess like a default, which I don't mind. People are started actually coming in more with the default, but I think it's because I'm starting to upload my feedbacks and my 5 stars. So I think that's why it's a big deal to me. And with the background, I just chose green. I love that green color. I give it a little bit of a classic style, a little nostalgia, a little retro scenery. Okay, I already know I'm ready for the readings. I took Thursday off. I didn't need to take a Thursday off. I should have been on here. But the reason why I did, in my mind, I'm thinking, what good am I if I show up and I know that I need to be fully, like, just turned on? And the way I'm going to be turned on, obviously, you know, I have to be a little rested. So I kind of forced myself to be still. Yeah, it took a lot of effort. Sometimes you have to say no. Just I remember growing up, and that's what they had to do. My grandparents, my grandmother specifically, would to like lie still, close your eyes, just close your eyes, relax. So that's what. So I now and now I'm telling myself this. I'm like, okay, putting that on loop. Close your eyes, just relax. Don't you know? Turn on. Yeah, it was pretty tough. Take a day off. Feel like you're missing something. Oh, it's horrible. But I feel regenerated though. So, anyways, so I'm ready for some high powered. I know we have big questions coming up. Also, yesterday, oh, okay, I kind of cheated because yesterday was also holiday for the other side of the world. So they're just stirring up today, or they just start, I guess, returning back today because actually they take it's Thursday, but they take it's like official, but they take all the weekend as well. So um, I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe they're out and about. So that means, okay, now I know what to do. I need to be everywhere. On Friday, though. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now I'm here. So we only have, okay. Let me make sure. Is this the final day or what? Okay, 2 more days. Okay. Had to do that whole administrative behind the scene thing. Pay all the bills. Code pay all the bills. Yeah. All right. And and also invoice. Okay. So there's that. Oh, today's is I think hopefully. Okay, yes. I have like a little bit of time to kind of talk. So um so I think I named this one it's like it's morning, so I think I'd say good morning from a or okay, or something about a higher tier. So yes, I'm one of the higher tier psychics. Mm-hmm. I'm a higher tier psychic, and basically what I do is I guide people to these new heights within a reading, which elevates their world, their lives, their path in life, the directions that they take. And I help them in that way. So that's I do that, and I just enjoy what I do. I love it. I make sure that all of the clients are getting something out of their reading. But it's important for clients to be empowered. So getting people where they feel empowered, like getting them to say that is one thing, getting them to feel that, or especially okay, getting them to think it, it's a challenge. But I mean, I guess that's why I consider myself high tier. But high tier also, of course, having the experience, but also, you have to, be pretty smart, I think. You also have to be, like, I consider what goes into the reason why I'm deserving of high tier is because, I'm ethical. I don't have any bad marks, on my psychic history with clients or with companies. I'm an excellent choice because I always study. I come from my roots are metaphysical. Yes, that's a little bit of classism, but um, also I've worked only with the top companies. I could have led with that. I just worked with top companies, and I understand the needs of the company. And as with their clients. So also, you know, well, they use the word yes. I'm, people think of me as an angel, a bright angel these days. Beautiful, beautiful soul. All these things, clairvoyancy. Yes, the light. I'm the psychic of the light. I work with the light. And so definitely I love this one. So feedback, I mean. So I'm glad I shared it. I'm glad I went and read it, to be honest. hmm And typically I don't read feedbacks. Um, but I'm getting in the better habit of reading them. And so they're beautiful, and because I always speak to them, and they always tell me these things during my readings, so I already know what they said. So like, oh yeah, that person said that. So that's why. I mean, I know the feedbacks. Trust me, I know I have 5 stars, and I know that the clients are telling me these things to me. So anyway, I'm sharing those in my journey now. The feedbacks and my 5 stars. What else? Also, I think that you have to. Okay, there's ethics, of course, but you also like in the realm of. I'm also thought of as well. Here they use the word warmth, but that's related to compassion. So I read from the heart. So yes, I am a higher tier psychic, but my clients say I'm worth it, and I say I'm worth it. So, and I'm so happy to be among the, if you want to say, among the privileged, the fortunate as well. And um, it's also getting a little challenging though, because sometimes there's a bit of an illustration element to the reading. Checking back in terms of like actions. Actions create other actions that play out. And I understand this very well. Um, I think that what do you call it? Like people may take some of these things for granted. Like if they believe in like actions create other actions that have us reacting to the results of other people's actions. So, and as always, traces back to us in some way. I understand this very well. In fact, without saying all that, it's very much part of my reading process. And people say, "Well, how are you able to see that?" But you made denotations, so it's like, yeah, that's the way that it works. That's the gift, and I'm able to describe when, places, and with whom. Um, it's very interesting. So I'm looking at it from this sort of inner space, like introgalactic, this in this introspective space, and able to see like how things just will play out and why. I know where it stems from. I know that well, if a person because a person didn't do this, this is the result, and it always comes back to some sort of teaching. And then there's sometimes the person will do something or do something that they were not going to do if they maybe didn't have certain information. And of course, it plays out. And I just have this very interesting understanding of exactly what that is that's being played out. So yeah, this is mind boggling, because a lot, of course, the normal answer would be, how am I supposed to know? But as when you're psychic or someone laying claim to be one, you don't get to say, how am I supposed to know? It's like, well, you better dig deep. Dig deep and dig within. Anyway, so where are we at? Whoa, you all are moving fast. Okay, so I think so if I had to give myself a grade today in getting on here, I have to be honest. Because I know people are like, what happened to yesterday at 10? Oh yeah, I had to like pull that back. I have that live create. Well, it was partially created. It wasn't even created to perfection. That's probably why I didn't do much with it. I just, oh, I know what happened. First of all, I did that live and somehow it got copied. And I said, oh well, I'll use it. I'll make something of it tomorrow, but or Thursday. It would have been Thursday. So that's what I said. It's on Wednesday. That's why I didn't come in on Thursday. So that's what happened. It wasn't even. I already had did that live on that day when I created that live. Somehow I was able to go live, but I duplicated it in some way. So that's a first. That's a first. I didn't know that that happens. So I wasn't technically. I like consciously trying to schedule a live for Thursday, but I'm here today, and it took me 12 minutes. Now I have my favorites, so I've seen them take like hours and rescheduled and so and things like that. So 12 minutes is not, but now I would say, but don't you wish that it could go a little faster? Yes, because from my end, I wanted to upload a thumbnail, a current thumbnail, and it's kind of like fixing things with electrical tape. Yeah, it's you gotta go do this, I gotta go do that. I gotta get the dimensions right. I gotta go upload, then shoot while I'm here. Might as well, add some what do you call a keyword search, some keywords. Yeah, so it's all of that. But I also was doing other things as well. So I probably could do it as quick as I would at least say give me 5 minutes. So about 5 minutes. But I don't know, 12 minutes is not that bad. To be honest, it's not that bad. And I'm also, another thing, I'm actually on here a bit early, actually. So that's another thing. Upon my arrival, early. Right. And I have a few different things going on today. Making sure that, we continue to grow here. That's always so important. So there's just a lot going on. So I'm at the place where this is a lot of, it's kind of a bit chaotic. And I guess I'm finally getting the hang of things because though I am busy, it's like everything is happening at once, and I need everything to stay in place. And but what makes this experience so enlightening is that because it's for me, it's for my benefit, it's not to anyone else's benefit. That means it's kind of like when they say, okay, you're gonna get up now and make the most of the day, or are you giving up? Because I'm telling you, I've reached this place. Look, now I understand why universe was like, you know, why I meddled in, especially in long distance or endurance type activity. Yeah, because I'm running on the fumes of endurance, sheer willpower, and that's what it took. All that to reach me, to reach for myself. I the energy, like the motivating energy. It's aspiring. That was energy under I was giving that to for others, for other people. So now it's like now I do it's I'm at the place where, well, I have to do it for myself, but I do it for myself. I've been doing it for myself for the past months, creating my own. And but the definitely, like I would say, that motivating factor, it's different. It's way different. It's not whatever I would imagine it to be. But anyway, I hope it becomes something like greater than myself. So I think I'm attracting like life purpose elements. So I'm very interested in that. And so yeah, I'm going to altruistic. I think that the path is guiding me to altruistic work. So I'm excited about that, like a community, being a service to community. So that would definitely would align with why I wanted to I did the university stuff. That's definitely going to help there. And I'm attracting the right people that they keep me like on my toes. I don't consider them motivators, but definitely on my toes for sure. Mm, so yeah, so I will continue to grow, throughout all of these experiences and just kind of get an idea of what's next and what we should be doing. So yeah. hmm So right now, I've researched. Oh my gosh, I have so much support and research from the things that I'm going to talk about with with my answers and the metaphysical aspects. I'm bringing everything into order here. Metaphysically speaking, and it's becoming interesting, very interesting, because I'm seeing how things play out. They play out, in a very interesting way, and it matches perfectly with what I'm studying at the moment. So there are going to be deep dives. I haven't quite um, broken through yet, but the information is very much aligned, very factual, and also a lot to learn from a spiritual point, from a psychic point. So it's only going to continue to develop, I guess. That's going to be on the increased end. Is what we're describing here. Whoa, a little stray. So it should be Oh boy. What are these talking about? I got a few randoms. But it's little challenges and things. Uh, um, it's coming from this deck. So interestingly enough, um, these what I'm researching also will support my psychic predictions. So whenever I research, it's always for a reason. It's always metaphysical. It's always psychic. But it always but it especially traces back to a prediction. That's what catches my eye. And I said, oh, that circled back already. It also helps me to keep up with time frames because I read things but things happening in chronological order. So, yes, these things are in occurrence right at the moment, playing out. And so, yeah, I'll need to share exactly what my findings are, and then people will become in sync, of course, with what I'm predicting. Hmm. And so, okay, I need to place these. Okay. Universe said, I've got a message for you. It's like, really? Tell me the message. So, um, message was saying something about connections, particularly in the friendship realm. Friendships can also mean maybe a a partnership or an associate, and uh, it's trying to well, it was illustrating to say goodbye, learning to say goodbye. But this element seemed like somebody who was an associate because it wasn't just a friendship. It's usually I use that symbol represent getting to know someone at the level of a friendship. So I say, oh, that's how I know you've got somebody you're gonna meet. Let's say you're gonna meet somebody, but you might feel like you know them, but you've never met them before. Sometimes people say, "Love in my life, right? Is there anybody who I know?" so, so that kind of like lets me know that no, nobody you know particularly. So definitely those symbols showed up. It was more like, yeah, uh, you've got maybe people around you that aren't going to stay around you for very long, like very brief. And you'll have to say goodbye to that person. They may, as you say, turning up, like it's kind of like you were saying, don't worry, you're going to get through this. That's pretty much what it represents. Don't worry, you'll get through this. Before you know it, you'll be on your way to new and better journeys. It's good for people to get an idea of what my heart is like. This is so people say, tell us a little about yourself. Oh, I just realized it says helped immensely. Uh, yeah, yeah. So wow, that's so immensely. So that's the level of work I like to do. I like to help people immensely. You know, warmth. That's what they're looking for. So that's why I work in that realm. Okay. Um, okay, so I'm gonna learn to plan out. I guess that's my next one. Okay, how to plan out your chart, your going live, excuse me. Planning out going live. Oh man, this is an interesting take. So I've had people trying to, well, usually it's managers to be honest, trying to see how like I work, maybe get my answers, and because I mean these kind of feedbacks, and but you have somebody who's kind of like managing you, like, oh, that's another feature about being a high tier psychic. I don't have a manager. I do have like a kind of like a business type of coach, but I don't have like a like there's somebody who maybe understands the algorithms, they understand the business side of their on their end, things that I don't see. Maybe they explain numbers better to me, but I don't have like a like somebody's gonna tell me how to like access my gifts. No one managing me like that. So I mean I can go on for like for months now and not talk to might not have any correspondence. Of course, as long as I'm within the guidelines, So I'm just working with the clients, and you know, uh, and of course everything comes in on time, like 2 days early. Wow, pay 2 days early, so things like that. But yeah, so that's another feature of being a high tier psychic. Well, anyway, so back in my days of growing, even though I was as being very experienced, but getting even more experience, you know, um, in my belt, under my belt, um, they was they would. I remember my manager. He would ask like, do I like what do I do to plan out a reading? Plan out a reading. I don't even know who's contacting me, so how can I plan out a reading? And like, you don't write scripts or anything like no. And there's never any dead air because I was like, dead air, they're literally talking to you. Well, what do you do with people when they don't say anything at all? They just sit and listen. Those are the times I can have opportunity to expound on what what the reading is talking about, whether if it's from their question, from the answers they gave, um, or when they say, "Well, let me tell you a little bit about myself before you start, so I can follow along the reading," or if I just start in the reading, then I'm just reading. The reading is itself, like that was so bizarre because it wasn't logical, and I was like, "You manage psychics, and you don't like." You never met a psychic who does it like this? It's like, what kind of psychics you guys bringing on? And that's when then I started discovering they were bringing on they bring on life coaches. Like, oh, then why not just call it life coaching rather than psychic? It should be a life coach line, not a psychic line. But then it allows people to cover, I guess, the intuitive stuff. So, and oh, and by the way, and they don't like tarot cards. They say, "Well, I don't like tarot cards," and they also say they're the conservative, and so it's like you're okay. You're tapping into a space that is meant for the mystical or the and the spiritual, but you don't like to talk about religion. You don't like to talk about beliefs. You don't like to talk about Bible scriptures or Bible. You don't like to talk about tarot cards. You don't like it's like you don't like clairvoyancy ability or you don't like metaphysics. But I was like, uh, but they had an interesting potential, and so they had um, like everything that I guess that information sharing is more like life coach for life coaches. So that was the perspective. I mean, they could be preparing a life coach for like public speaking or to speaking with a group. Of course, I read through that and I just whatever would spirit would allow to seep in, to resonate. I just like at least I'm coming through here. But yeah, that's like, but I know they don't care for the real deal. They don't want the real deal. Not that kind of psychic, which is great. What bewilders me? It was like I went with all of the ones that are not metaphysically aligned, and the one that was metaphysically aligned, the toughest one to become a part of. In the end, I found that one. That's the one I found. So yes, and it was like all worth it because it's like everything all the potential became that I was looking for in other places became open to me. So I'm learning about the influence that I have being seasoned. It goes along with being trusted. So now I'm a trusted psychic. You know, so like, yeah, wow, like I was it's starting to really dawn on me. Like, do you realize like the like the connections you have, like that, right? Like, take the time to really let that set in. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll start sharing that. I should, just thinking about it, but now it's like, yeah, and share for some of your feedbacks because maybe I don't do it justice. It's like I wouldn't think this. I mean, yeah, I have a warm heart. I try to come across warm, but I think it maybe is better when I share that as a feedback. I, that sounds much more better. Like, look, here's the feedback. You can read it if you like. Yeah, and that really does. That really is a description of like the way that I am in, I guess, my psychic life and my interaction with. This is what people always say. Yeah. So this is what they say about me. I'm definitely going to share more of these. Yeah, more of these to come. I'll keep them coming. And may I never run out. May I never run out of uh yeah, this is like wine. May I never run out of wine, and may the always, the the fruits always remain lush and sparkling and fizzy and bubbly. Um, and may those vines run deep. I'm toast, big toast, and consumed. Okay, so what does it get you? So we'll figure it out, which is meant to be there. Mhm. But we just like, so are you saying you have to discover life's riddles? Yes, we're going to uncover life's riddles together. Oh my goodness. Also, the other another feature, I need to wait. I need to do story times, but I'm thinking that story times. So I'm doing this my newsletter, like a once a week newsletter, and I want to incorporate story time, like in my newsletter that I send to clients. Oh, this is gonna be a great conversation. One second. A pleasure. A pleasure. Donald here. So, what's good to speak with you today. I also love working with their special questions. Any direction you would like, of course, our reading to go. We're here to answer your questions. Is there a special direction? Okay, absolutely. So we're gonna take a look and just see what comes through, with spirit. Now we're going to what we'll start with is obviously we should start with June. Okay, so the next few days, I know it's but see June is important because there is a new sort of a new chapter that you're preparing for. It'll take 2 weeks before you take notice on your end, maybe even 3 weeks into June, because it really doesn't really pick up when you start to notice these changes until like the 14th. But I find that people I read for are like, well, when will it happen to me and it manifest? And I say, yeah, it might take you about 21 days into the June month or the last week of June. So let's start that. Well, we're going to start. Nonetheless, we're going to start in this over the next couple of days, actually. So it says that this is a time of resolution. This is also they say that you're in a better space. This is a time where it's safer for you to do the things, get things done. This is also the lessons in life. There are lessons in life that is like, well, I've found my resolution. I picked up or learned from what I needed to know, and now I'm in a better. I mean, since I'm in this great space, now I'm going to do it this way. So it definitely feels like, oh boy, twice over is something that you're 1,000% dedicated to. This means like this path you might find is like a straight road, the straight path. It talks about union with this path. This is a solid decision. So I think that you're getting ready to manifest like that's some whatever the part that's manifesting this part of the realm is for a breakthrough, and I believe I think it's purposeful. I believe it's part of the soul journey. I'm getting the sense that this is something that it's going to be quite physical. It might like in the material world. I mean, it could be something that is going to cause you literally to have to like say goodbye to an old location. You'll be leaving. I believe you're going to be leaving maybe a few people behind. You're saying, well, kind of like when you say, well, I'm off to my next chapter of my life, my new journey. You kind of just say, we're still friends, but it's well, I'm going to be putting all my energy into this over here now. So that's sort of sense of goodbye. And then both sides, they also talk about separation. So all of this is June month. Wow. So this at the height. You're moving into the height of your experience, is what they say. You've got your high and lows. You're at your high moment that you're entering into, which means you're being given abilities, power, the things to do the things you want to achieve, I believe. So this definitely is more like maybe the science of your life, the logic stuff. Maybe it was with maybe the business of life in itself that's going to help you to, make the right decisions today and then manifest those things that you want. My guides tell me that this seems to be the kind of like the walk in the business life. Right now, it hasn't maybe said specifically career, but it's speaking on all like the connections, the correspondences, what it's talking about. Your interaction with special people, partners, associates, and these kinds of individuals. That's bringing you your journey into the real world. That means your opportunities. But once you have keyed in or you're locked in, psychic like intuitively I feel that you're going to manifest where you might say, so this is mean for me more productivity for the money just begins coming in, things like that, or opportunity to do greater and maybe a great in leadership elements. So I would say intuitively I would say that. But it's more or less says this also is a beginning of feeling like you are tapping into your inner mastermind. And in that sense, you might even find, be a bit entertained because you're learning how to, let's say, to do. I'm learning to do this for you've done this for others. Now you're doing this for yourself. Unlocking the self, unlocking maybe a particular area that's going to get you or gain you the ability, to do things in such a way that you are recognizing your touch to it. Putting your own spin to things is what I would say. Now, they said at the home level, this will grant you. Now, this is what I'm about to on a more of a personal human side. It says that on the home level, this was I think this is pushing towards this is June, July. So this is the July month. It talks about that you will be very much grounded, nurturing in the home. I'm seeing that, or structuring, very much hands on. But windfall, they said windfall of return, which means I think that represents the feeling that you're going to get, the feeling maybe of security. Something that's also had been halted. So you say like I'm in a situation that's caused me issues. That means like all these little problems, maybe people coming at you, maybe it's business going awry, or you feel like the horses are getting away from you. Well, all of that's going to stop all at once, like abruptly. Like somebody who's like maybe been at it, maybe they're just going to just leave, something like to that effect. Or maybe you're in a dispute and you're like, well, what are you gonna do? Okay, well, then you're like waiting for their response and they just don't respond. But it's like an abrupt stop on things that are we would deem as not something that we wouldn't want to see happen. This windfall, like when is all the chaos gonna stop? Well, then it's in July. Well, it does, and it stops like all at once, is what they're saying. And they said that the health happens also in about mid July. 2025, health happens. And they said that's a time you're able to invest in self and instinctively begin to find greater inspiration. Also, you begin to open up to people, by the way, because all the ones that are wreaking havoc, they abruptly go away. They just disappear. And the ones that you started with in June step forward, and we're making real sound connections. And we're starting to realize, okay, that we can grow in this space. So this is what's going on like 1 month like a month and a half, 1.5 month. So that's what they're referring. So let's see we're going to switch up the pattern here. And I wanted to look at the calendar. That's going to give us this, as you say, wrapping up of things. So they said that, first of all, June is an important month. June was particularly about June 14th to July, into the July month. Very important time because that's the time where you start to see manifestation. But by the mid July, things that you needed to back off, or people you need to back off, they're just going to do it. So they said there's nothing you need to do because these people are exiting on their own. They said that you are in a very interesting part of life right now where you kind of, if you want to say independent, but it gives you the ability to be in charge. You're very much having this in charge energy about you. And I think that right now people will compliment you a lot in this area. So it's like how to make use of that. So which is naturally is going to happen, making use of this in charge moment, this feeling that you've got leadership aspects, that play out. Well, others are, I think they're admiring you, especially they're showing a gentleman who stepped forward, okay, This is definitely still like late July. Definitely organized business wise. Okay, money. Okay, just as you're bringing in the July, okay, into August, early August specifically, he's talking about exchange. Like he's like exchange, like something that he's offering, something that you have done with him. I think in the realm of something that was agreed upon. This is organization, something that was only discussed privately between yourselves. I think the nature is business like, and he's saying I have to give this to you in return. It's like this is what's left, and this belongs to you. So it's something that you're getting back in return for something that you are accomplishing throughout the month of July specifically, like maybe even late June into early July, and by the end of July month entering August, this you'll know who the gentleman is because you will have you'll make gains, I guess. This is the time when I see you more or less holding, good fortune, and also references the future as well. Doesn't mean what is practical. This is for like longevity. So this area of life sets you on another type of trend into other areas, but it all represents good fortune by, I would say, the end of these 3 months, these next 90 days is what's happening. I like it by August. So by August, they said specifically, what will you have gained? Well, first of all, you would have gained, they said self actualization, something very real will have manifested, okay, that you better acknowledge. And then also energetically, you will say, well, my fortune, like, it's like, let's say it was heads or tails, and you're like, finally it landed on the one you call, so whichever the one you're like 50-50, you got the top percentage and the good fortune landed on your side. And it also represents something that is very personal because this is the Venus side where they say, well, what do you get? You say, this is where me, myself, and I stand. So this means your property, your money, your business, your discussions, your private, everything is private discussions. All of this represents yourself gaining manifestations. So that's what they're more or less saying to us at the moment. So all of that as you bring in your August. So there you go. There's your 90 days, and then from there, if I may, just see what that outlook represents to you beyond the. Well, okay, you got 90 days on your belt. Then what happens? You manifest it. Okay, so they say that from this time frame, it's all about the future. It's like you're mapping out of these next 3 months what 2026 is going to be like. It's like you're preparing for the new awakening. You're like, okay, I want to invest and move things around over these next 3 months. And then by the end of the year, that kind of thing. And then it'll be 2026, and I'm going in there, with longevity wise. Your path again is one solid path. Some of us are walking a path and there's crossroads or the many directions. Yours is one straight long road, is what I see. Very much laid out, and it's like they say, beeline, in one direction, which means that things are happening or moving your direction directly in front of you. It can't be missed. There's no way you're going to miss these opportunities. So I don't see a confusing moment. More focus is what I see. I see you highly focused and centered. So that's what I want to share. Okay, so that's what's going on. In the personal realm, I noticed that it feels like that happens on the outside of things. So a lot of this definitely is more close to home and business, but I do also believe that relationships play a hand as well, like more like the personal side. I think that depends on because okay, your path is very straightforward, as just they mentioned. So I think it's as you're moving along this journey, it depends on what you're open to and who you're open to with. When it comes to the love aspect. In other words, it might be in a place where you're taking your time, something like that, or if it worked, or if it fits well with your path and it's beneficial to you or no. But they did say for sure. Remember, dealing with certain people, it's like you're saying, like they're exiting out of your world, like abruptly, like going up into another direction. But the way that they described these individuals, you weren't happy with them. So it wasn't the ones you're trying to keep around. By the way, it was the ones that just didn't. They're not or unbeneficial in the ones that I saw. But that now that's in the mid July, and you might even not even notice that that's happening. You may not energetically make a big deal of it. It just may just play out, and you might say, I wonder whatever happened to that. But it was never pursued. Um, so I'd imagine that this vibration works really well when it comes to, let's say, problem solving, maybe like, hot, big personalities in the workspace or complicated spaces, because, you would say, anything I need to look out for, anything I need to be worried about, and, little fuss, something, little tidbit back and forth happens, then it never goes into anything else. So it gives you like, so that means if I can respectfully say my piece, or there's something that you want to get across to someone, that's a perfect timing to do it. I would say early mid July to mid July, or yeah, between the first and so the first 2 weeks. We'll say that first 2 weeks of July, perhaps favorable time to get those kind of get the record straight. I would say. Um, so to kind of map things out, of course, to say to move things along for yourself, going into these other higher realms, these other journeys that you have in store. I was looking at your highest vibration, and it does identify with like things that represent justice as well, or things that needed to be set right. So that feeling of I want to set things right, or as earlier we mentioned, setting the record straight, getting the source straight, or you finally get to tell your side. That also is part of the resolution that they mentioned. Your reading opened up with I guess, finding resolutions and things of that nature. That's what they're illustrating here. So that is some of the journey that you're going to experience. hmm But I see you as okay throughout the entire process. I think you're protected. I think you have high energy. I think that you're in control. These kinds of things. So you're ready to take on this challenge. You're ready, and of course it's going to gain you a lot from it. And also promise connections. The persons that I saw that ultimately you end up shaking hands with are very mature. Like a logic, they're settled in their lives. Very strong, grounded person is what I saw. Big personality, um, definitely meaningful in a lateral way, so can help open doors going forward, and also maybe as inspiration, as they described, for as you bring in, we'll wrap up maybe the next 6 months, the end of the six, right, for ending 2025 into new year. So someone who is significantly, I would say, strong in helping to make decisions, and maybe giving the ability to make those decisions as well. I see that as what they're, I guess, how they're placing this. hmm So this is called, I would say, actualization, and also the other part is that water signs are people with long term endeavors. Is fantastic for you. So water signs, you might gravitate to Pisces sign, or Pisces personality type individuals, people who like to think about like life goals, long term goals. These folks, around you will be excellent. And I'm pretty sure you might even, like as a companion, you might pull someone along, even if it's a friend, you might, or somebody that you just kind of like the partnership is great. I would say, this will be the personality of that person. That it talks a lot about you be able to see beyond the illusion, like what's real and what isn't. In other words, and because you have high sensibility, like the sense of sensitive to things, and so you're going to work really well in these rounds as things get a little bit more sophisticated and start happening all at once, as they said. Navigating around issues, where people are setting up, like conversational traps, and you're better to like quickly navigate around, like dodging that. Oh wow, I just dodged a whole lot of cloud. Oh wow, I did. Yes, you so happy you didn't make it to that conversation. Someone says, that kind of idea of maybe how some of these might play out in real time. But that's right now. That's your definitely your ability. You will naturally rely on. That doesn't really take much conscious effort. You're just doing it. So good for you. Um, yeah. Okay. So just the rest just says that you're going to be very busy. Something that you're crafting. I think that just represents work. Things like maybe projects, things like that. You're putting together that will play out overall, and you are, or I would say that um, the ones that may be opposite of you, sometimes I get the sense that maybe some secrecy, but this is usually people that are just thinking, but they think and they don't talk, they don't interact until it's time to act, and they've got a whole lot to say. It feels very much like, eh, but I don't like to use that kind of analogy in psychic readings. I don't think there's nothing to worry about because I don't think that it's a direct effect on you. It's like kind of like, I don't care what people think, does it affect me or no, in real life. So I think that, but although it's there in the astral realm, someone's kind of just putting it out there. Um, but like you say, well, who specifically, or like who's going to be needing to get out, like exit out of my life abruptly? Like what happened? So I think that's what some of that part is. There's just some things that are going on. People have their own reservations and their own defining of things, and it doesn't work out for them. Hmm. Yes. Well, these individuals come through more like people who who maybe more connected with you from the outside world, because your connection with the inner world is more closer to home. So you might say that you might gravitate to home, like securing home, like your personal family relationships. And those, I would say, certain, but now you say friends, but the reading illustrates that these individuals are more like associates. So they may not be even personal friends, like the ones that you might consider to be like close friends. They may not be very close, but you might know of them, might have known them for some time, but you don't invite them to anything personal. I don't think that I don't or maybe you don't really hang out with them much. It may be in passing. It's like these are the ones, the types of, I would say, people outside of the family who are going to make their exit. Abrupt exit, not just you don't hear from them for a while, but they said all at once, but that you would have a bit of a, also, it's a feeling that there's something going on. It does feel like there's something that might be a little problematic, like something did occur that caused both sides to feel at odds, I should say, at odds, or maybe a little slight disagreement. And then, but again, I would say these are not your close friends, as in not the kind maybe that you invite to a baby shower. Like these are just for, or to a you might be not even have like a go have brunch with them. You might just happen to see them from time to time, but not really have a deeper sense of connection with them. But definitely, I would say family is more on the lighter side of that discussion, because this is a place where you're very much at home and you can secure and manage that side of life, and protect it even. So I think that you better enrich those relationships with the family. But most importantly, the fact that it even mentions home life. That is where this is coming from. Oh, and so now to match to line all that up, so it makes sense. There's a bit of a, I believe, some sort of like an energy that go runs in between I guess it's associate friendships or maybe even partners, like associates, and you're just, I think you're just telling them to, well, if that's how they feel, maybe they should think about it and then come back. And if they still feel the same way, but it's like they just, instead of getting back with you, they just back away completely. But now, according to the reading, that's kind of what they're supposed to do, so that you can continue your journey. Because the journey you're going, it's like they needed to step out of the way so that you can continue your journey the full way. And I think that means that so they're not being disruptive. They're not interrupting. Because it feels like they can be very disruptive, and they just, some people just don't belong. And so these individuals in this space, at this time, they prove that they don't belong in your, and so that you can continue your journey, towards something meaningful, manifesting in a meaningful way, or in a very real way, rather than getting caught up in the loops, that may, they may try to, well, that they would, I guess, it would like go around in circles with them, but that's not. And then you get stuck, and then it's like, well, when do you finally get to move forward? So it's like it answers that question. It's like now you can move forward since they're not there. But yeah, definitely, I would say family members seem to be moving along with you on the journey, because that's some of the more healthier results I saw. Oh, by the way, did you know that yes, when you eliminate this unhealthy relationships, that you begin, that's also what prompted you to start focusing more on home and health, because it goes securing home, then health, like your personal need to create these structures for self, and you're able to accomplish that. Is how this played out. So I definitely enjoyed that, reading that part, because I love the healthier sides of psychic readings. And so I think that's what's more or less, as you say, happening or going to come to pass ultimately. But that's more, so that's what you gain from when everything, you say, when you go back home, what do you actually will have to say for today, for these not throughout these? Well, this would be more like 1 month and a half. So what will you have out of all of this, or by the end of the first 2 months out of the three? You're definitely going to be home, structure, then health, and then that's also helping you to bring about for the future. It's like you also start contemplating the future. You will shake hands into a new wonderful secular agreement, or world agreement, which I believe that's more like somebody who you're working with, and that's going to open up so many other avenues for you, but healthier ones. But they said these avenues are not like, oh yes, all these crossroads. They said it's going to be like one major opportunity that presents itself, that you're going to say, I'm going for it. And the way that it's shared with you, it's so private and discreet, that it's for you. If there's no sense of, well, you should go for this. It's more like, we think you would be a more qualified person to go with this. So we want you to accept this role. I get more of that, something that's very direct in one way, is what I saw. So that's how you're able to, as you say, break away from. Okay. Oh, sure, sure. So the illustration represents this. That okay. So when you're able to shift from these inaccurate and improper uh, connections with these other individuals who are getting out of your way. Okay, so then I saw that in the career sphere, that the business represents. the second opportunity to step into more of an well, it's an independent role, but it's so supposed to place you in a role that you felt in charge. In charge, I believe that represents the idea is that you're moving into a space that takes up leadership. So it's more like you're taking the lead in your career space. You're asked to step into that role, and it represents that now you're able to um, have a greater um, like a range in how you're going to do the work that you do. But it shows here that you do work like unto yourself or by yourself, like in the individual style. That's your style, but it's giving you more things to do with that role, being in that role. But with it comes more money, of course, and so that's what they're saying. So it's and they say it's very ideal in this well 93 months from now it's ideal because they said, oh, by the way, a lot of this is talking about what you're intending to do for 2026. There's another, your career is going to move into more of an entrepreneurial situation in the upcoming in 2026. A pleasure. Well, you're always welcome, and thank you for dropping in. Got you. Okay. Well, I will remember all of the readings. Don't worry. Okay. I'm definitely going to remember your name. Okay. We'll talk again soon. So that was a type of reading where they didn't ask what I needed to talk about. They just said, "Read me." Reading them is not a problem, but sometimes I want them to know what because they know I'm I'm not interested in them personally, and I'm not interested in the occult. So I'm like, no, I can tell when I need to say no. You need to actually give me some like choose an area. You don't have to one word. It doesn't have to be specific, but it can't be the word life. 'Cause no, and all the little squares where that make up life. Choose a square. It could be any one word, but not life. You don't. I never met anyone who cared about lot. They want to know the philosophy, the meaning of life. That's far and few. And I know when it's somebody, but I know when it is not you. That's not you. But today, yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll read you. I won't need to. I didn't ask like what we're gonna talk about. No, it wasn't about that. I didn't need to ask. I don't have to ask. I only do it whenever I'm making a. But if well, I don't ask questions. I make points. So, um, but I don't want to talk down anybody or make them feel like they're sitting with a professor. I don't say, oh, well, it's kind of, I might say, well, it sounds a little rhetoric. So here, let me put it this way. I'll say it and then you can follow after. If you have if you agree or not agree, so that's how I kind of spin it. Mm, oh my. Okay. What? Okay, okay. Okay, let's get back to. Okay, so right now I'm doing the whole readings thing, and revealing. Okay, so why are you the best? What makes you the best? Well, what makes me the best is that this is my feedback, one of them, and from time to time I'll like share other feedbacks. Okay, I guess as I get them, and this feedback really expresses like what people get from me when I read with them. This is what they get, or what they, at least what they tell me that they feel. Yeah. So, uh, um, psychic. Hello from the psychic. It says you came up against the Most High bloodline. You're on the death menu. Return to sender. Uh, uh, you ran off. You ran off. You're so funny. You're so very funny. I I just changed someone's life, and you're trying to harm someone's life. You're trying to harm a person's life who changes lives with others. Haha, you're funny. I can actually demonstrate. I actually demon demonstrate my ability to help others. You you openly, okay, period. You openly express how to harm others publicly. That's a difference. Uh, others publicly, openly, and publicly, which is the difference between us, okay, the difference between us two is as follows. There. That is my response. That's my response. So anyway, so I'm working with the highest vibration that bring life to people, that bring health to people, that bring good energy to people, that bring the wonders of what it truly means to be in a spiritual path, and that's what I do. That's how I help people. I bring people to an understanding that gives them life. So that's another thing. I speak, I can put that in quotes. I speak life into others' life, and you speak death into others' lives. I am clearly the one, clearly the one deserving of 5 stars. Donald here, pleasure. Welcome. Welcome. Yes. I was thinking about you earlier. Sure. Yes. Mm-hmm. Right. That they needed to go through. Right, but didn't. Right. Mm-mm. No. I felt that you went into till this. It's funny. I mentioned well, we mentioned Wednesday, but I mentioned like Thursday. I felt that it would they would go over the weekend. Like I felt like they would know, though that they would know, but I felt like you would go throughout the weekend. You mentioned, well, we don't just take one day off. We're gonna take Friday off and the weekend too. Because I was like, wow, wish we did that. I've been laughing about that all weekend. Yeah. Mm, 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 right. Mm, mm, right. Mm, right. Well, one thing I get the sense of, look, I know we're looking without, as they say, looking to something printed out. But when I connect, with spirit and what spirit stated in the original, and what they showed me was more like, of course, I like to I'm only going to say what I see, not speculate what I could see. Okay, okay. So what I saw was that the interview would happen. They would have an interview on the Wednesday, and then they would go on holiday. But I felt that they felt good about your work, about the candidates. I also felt that they really are interested in you, and I get to feel like they have not excuse me. I feel like they have not um, put you out. I feel like they have not eliminated put the idea out of their mind that you are a candidate that they want, that they select that they want, not just interested in. But I felt that also they would not. Um, I thought that you would hear from them in the upcoming week, like the first top of the week. Is what I felt. I felt that they would go and then they would take on all 4 days. That's what I meant when I was jokingly saying you would. Because I listened to how you said Wednesday you take holiday, but what people usually do is that they take their Thursday off. You just go ahead and take Thursday, Friday, and then you're in the weekend, and then so Monday. So yeah, on Monday they hear from you. That's the way that I interpret it. That was the way that I was hoping. I thought that it got across to you. Well, I get the strong sense that this is a great day. And, I think that, you definitely should, put that out into the universe that they were meant to contact you anyway, at any rate, whether, if they were to not accept you or to accept you, the promises are promises like, we're going to call, we'll let you know, so that whether if it's a green light or the red one. But none. I mean, so like you said, it doesn't make sense for you not to hear from them at all. So it can also be a good thing that you hadn't heard from them, being that it's a green light, more like, because they said a red light, a no is that's a very simple one, kind of very quick, because that does the process of elimination can happen pretty fast. I mean, that's what you want in order to get to the answer you seek. So I think that this is still a very good, healthy vibration that you're still in. No need to keep you over the weekend thinking that you may potentially have something if that's not the case. Hmm. Yes, I'm still celebrating. I am. I'm still celebrating this. I think it's a good vibration. I think that of course, you already said you make a great fit. I think so. The team and you said will make a great fit. I know we needed them to see it. We know we need them they to see it and to say those things. And I'm looking. The whole point is I'm looking for them to say those things as well. I certainly am. Yes, will do. Okay. I know it's nerve wracking. Okay. Girl, she's anxious. Want to calm her down. She's thinking what I was thinking she was thinking. She called to tell me this is what I'm thinking. I knew she was thinking that. I was like, this ain't it. Hmm. I could have jumped ahead and said, actually, I know what you're thinking. I already know what this is all about. Because I was like, yeah, in my head, I was like, yeah, I know. They hadn't heard anything about you. You know why? It's the holiday. Mhm. She goes, yeah, I know. No news is good news. No, no, no news is a what? No, no, that's not it. People always trying to add their own little spirit. Nobody asked you for for your own spiritual interpretation. I just caught that. Mhm. My goodness. So anyway, I wanted to, I definitely have to make sure that. See, I'm so good that we're speaking health and life into people's lives and helping them and helping all people's lives. So she is European, she is Danish, therefore she is white. And not only that, she gets to have my warmth energies, my lightest energies, my excellence in clairvoyancy. We're speaking life into her life, no harm into her life. And this is why she's going to thrive. She's going to thrive in this lifetime. She doesn't have to wait. She's going to get these things in this lifetime. So I'm very happy and very pleased with that. I'm so very happy because she is full of health, full of good energy, and that's what she gets. This is what she deserves. So I'm just looking forward to hearing all of the wonderful things that she has going for herself. So many good things going on for her in her life. And she also in her heart, she said to me, I'm gonna have a great weekend. I hope you have a great weekend. I'm gonna try to. And that's how human beings talk to each other. It doesn't matter if she's white. It does not matter the fact that she's in Denmark, in Europe. It doesn't matter if I'm in the US. It doesn't matter. We both speak to each other out of love and respect. And that's what metaphysics does. So metaphysics do this with people, and then that brings life into to our reality, into our lives. That is speaking. There's life in our conversations. I will not follow a religion of death and disparity. I follow a religion of life and wonder and beauty. I follow a path of life, wonder, and beauty. So lastly, a I follow a path of life, wonder, and beauty, and not a religion of death and depravity and despair. Gritty. So I follow a path of life, wonder, and beauty, and not the religion of death and depravity and disparity. Okay, so there we go. And I won't address it anymore. So, and that's why she's going to do just fine. Okay, because I care about her energy and she cares about mine. So this is what love is looks like. This is what family looks like. This is what universal love between strangers look like. Hmm. So we have to continue the path of love and light. Also, universal love. Okay. So, okay, so I'll be right back. Yep. So I speak good energy into my clients' lives. My clients' lives, they get good energy. So, and my clients, they're waiting for exciting things to happen, which is in between everything that's happening. Right now, it's in between. And yeah, wonderful things are happening with them in their lives. So many good things that are moving towards them, with them. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be beautiful. And they're going to continue to grow. They're going to continue to advance in their life and be a force in the world and do, like, okay, they've gotten good things, yes, and they're gonna be able to do good things. So that's what my clients, are getting ready to do. Major, wonderful things in their life's journey. So definitely want to continue, to uplift and help them, in their development. That's what that's what my readings do for people. That's what my reading does for others. We want that to continue to happen We want they to continue to develop and become stronger and greater in everything that they do. And it doesn't matter where they're from. It doesn't matter if they're from another country. It doesn't matter if they're other culture. It doesn't matter if they're other race. They stay have the ability to find the love and the light in their lives and be that love and light compass as a compass, in others' lives, in other people's lives. That's what they're doing. That's what we all are doing. That's what we are here for. That's what the real journey is. It is not to choose a side. It's not to choose a side when all of the sides that whichever direction you can go, you can find the beauty. And in that beauty, you can find the light within. You can find the beauty with the light within in any direction that you go in this world. No, no, a pleasure. A pleasure. A pleasure. Welcome to our psychic reading today. A pleasure. Always answering all of your questions. You're here for a psychic reading, right? Of course. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yes, of course you did. You got your contract. I'm yelling so loud. uh-huh. Okay, you got that's the one you needed out of the two. You said the first one is going to be this week it's Friday. Whatever day it is. Okay, you got it this week, like you said. Then the second one, we got that planned out. But this first one, this means you're in. You're in. Yay! I'm gonna celebrate hard, even loud, more loud when I'm not on the phone with you. I promise. I know you've got questions right now. Yes, yes. Okay. I picked up on it already. You know that, right? I like, she's getting this contract. In my mind, I could imagine how it's playing out, how excited you are. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mhm. Yes. Okay. Okay. Right. Yeah. Yes. Mhm. Yes. Yes, I've been trying to be on throughout the week because I know you all, but you are in between things. So I needed to be here because you're in between things, and we trust spirit. But these times can be challenging because emotions go up. They can go up in the like you're waiting. You're like, why isn't it here yet? And of course, I want to be here in this moment. When you're like, okay, I got it. I want to hear that vibration. I want to hear that. I want to hear the whole thing. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was looking right in his vibrations, and he is actually quite social. He's not shy. When I look at his vibration, like he's like any other extroverted, like he's figuring it all out. He's take charge. People. He's very, like they said, social. He's engaged, like interacting with others, and he, can he can get to where he's going and walk alone, but he's not alone. But I mean, like, he doesn't get in like shy and hanging out in the shade. No, he's like out in the light, by the way, and not he's not he doesn't got all the armor, so to speak, on, like the emotional psyche armor, like I don't want to talk to you. No, he's like very open, how like getting to where he needs to go. He is having the time of it, like the world is opening up to him, and he's feels like this is very purposeful, his world, whenever I read for him. Mm-hmm. Ah, guess what? This world won't allow him to do it. It's like they like anything everywhere, like where one can go and hide and duck. They remove, like, that doesn't exist. That structure does not exist. He can't, like, under the table. Nope, that table is not made like that. Like, they still see you. He can't. No room to duck behind. No, that's hanging out on the wall. On the side of the wall. Like, don't touch anybody. Maybe they won't notice me. None of no, no. He's out, and it's such a. It's like everything is so spread out. It's a clearing, and people are like going walking up to him, and you can't hide behind the book bag. Yeah, he's like, it's just him. But whenever I read for him, he's like, this is more like it. This is my world. This is my type of reality. This is where I fit in. That's the vibration I got. So it's not like he's uncomfortable in this space, but literally he's saying, this is more like me. This is me. This is what I got when I look. Mm-hmm. He's rushing them. Like, people, all these people rushing up to him saying hello. No, he's walking up to them. In the midst of them, and as they are passing by, they're stopping and talking and engaging, and he feels very confident. He does. Hmm. Okay. 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 Right. Yeah, like a joke. Yeah, joking, like, welcome the new guy. Yeah. Well, we of course. That they only that's only showing him that they're now his new brothers. I mean, they're his brothers. They love him. Like, welcome to our family, brother. Let me throw your mattress down down the stairs. Yeah, okay, but not like in a, like, we don't want you here type of bullying. Not that kind. Okay, good. Yeah. That he'll be laughing it off with them. Like, I was so mad. I needed that, and I was trying to get rest, and you threw. I go get it, but no, no, he'll be like, they'll be welcoming him in, and he's gonna be so. I think they're gonna be so proud, like the result they're gonna get. They're shaping him to be what they want, but they're on a more of a serious level, and they are definitely gonna be like, oh my gosh, we're really proud, like like pull them to that brotherly, and then like squeeze them, like do the arm thing, like this is like brotherly. I mean, yeah, they're gonna do that. They're like, this is our brother. We're proud of him. Look what you become. Don't Is there anywhere else you like to be right now? Probably not. You want to be stuck here with us. So you're here with us now. We're gonna be supported behind you. We're behind you. He's gonna feel like powerful. He is gonna feel very powerful. Camaraderie. camaraderie. Yes, camaraderie. Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay. 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 Ah. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Of course. Of course. We have like lots of ends. You won't be lacking of those. Okay. 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 Mm. Yes. Okay. Yes. We well, okay. We're pushing to okay. So it's you said 17th, but the 14th, June 14th is special. Because that's when we enter into the new astrological sign. That's Gemini, and then you said the 17th though. That's when you start. Okay, so a whole nother chapter and events are happening at this time. It's going to be fantastic, right? It's a time when you might say you're looking to see how everything works. You know how like took it apart and now you like to reassemble it again. Like you're like I'm going to see how the inner workings so that you know how everything works and you're going to do everything perfectly because you know how it flows. Like how you should mend it and correct it and fix it and keep it in good standing. You're going to be able to do all of those wonderful things. I'm so happy for you. Of course. Yes. I'm so happy. I hope they never let you hide that beautiful light of yours again. I hope so at least every day, at least one, like a couple of people just comes and tell you, your light is just bright right now. You it's high energy, and ask about you. I hope they do. I hope that on you. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Good. Good. This is the energy that attracts the things that you're wanting as what like okay, it's wonderful they get that vibe from you. It's wonderful they can you're a gift, but you also attracting this working with this the family and all your other like your dream for what you intend to do for your future, the future vision. This is it's coming by way of this attraction, this energy, this vibration you feel. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, we gotta get. This is a whole nother type of experiences and journey, and you're going to keep continue to grow to go up in this new path. It's kind of like when they describe being reborn. This is your reborn moment. You've already gone through the initiation. You've done the symbolic. Now you're doing the real thing. The walk. They say the walk of when you're okay. You're born reborn to the water. Then now you're reborn to fire. This is the Angai vibration, and that's the energy you felt. That is the fiery energy, and it feels like actual energy, right? That you can feel people aligning with that. It means something for you. You're new. You're a new version of yourself, and this is one of the your higher version. Like the part of you when you before all this experience, you would think in the high mind, like, wow, that would be spectacular. Well, now you what happens when you're there? This is represented as your higher self. This is your you are your higher self. There is no distinction. That's right, and people are getting to they have to get to know, or some people already they know you as you were or as you are, but they've got to get to know your this version of yourself that is higher now now stands in front of them and they're witnessing it. And then of course you get, but the fun part is you, like you said, introducing this yourself as the higher self with everything you've learned, all the I know all the humility you've learned throughout over the years, but you get to now introduce this higher version of yourself that you've always thought about the way that you would be if you would just you were offered this opportunity. You think about it often, and now you are exactly these thoughts. You become your thoughts made manifest. Hmm. Good. Yeah. But we like that. That's a we would say now that is a classy lady. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. You definitely you were kidding. You said you're feminine and you tapped in. You weren't. You're not kidding. Okay. You gave me a good picture, mental picture. You gave me a good one. I'm gonna store it in my mental. you you're loving life for the first time in a long time. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. You're speaking life now. You're speaking light and life. You're affirming. This is affirmations, natural affirmations. Okay. Yes. That means these are the kinds of thoughts you're attracting to you as opposed to the other ones. The other thoughts, whether it's nervous energy, whether it's energy that says opposite of what, no, you're saying opposite of all of that, and you're attracting and bringing all these wonderful, beautiful energies today. But it doesn't, of course, it's something that it's meant to continue. It continues. There are more things here. Hmm. Yes. Your purpose. I see your purpose. Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That you resonated with. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. You need the physical. I also said it that I said you just now you got everything else. You I would say that you proved to the universe you believe. You stepped out. Now you need the physical. The universe to like why do all that? Why would the universe have us do all of this just to say I'm so sorry? You got to believe a little more. No, universe has said no. You did your part. Universe says I'm gonna do my part. Universe got you that contract. Yes. 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 That is called yes, the practitioner. Yes. You apply the practitioner ways in your life and you're demonstrating it and now that's right. That's right. Beautiful. Okay, but you know who to share with and who not. Some people are ready, some you could tell which ones that are not ready. Mm. Oh, yes. Okay. Okay. Right. Right. Indeed. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes. Yes. Right. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Exactly. Yes. Your Dharma. That's right. Your light. That's right. I love how you put it. Yeah. Your valorosity. I love that. That's a great way to go about the world, go about the life. You're spreading that good energy out there that you actually have flowing in you just like any other. Because if it was another type of energy, you would share that. So why not share this energy? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, I love it. Right. Mhm. Yes, indeed, indeed. You gotta be so learning, busy and learning. Wrapping it. Well, we're still pushing through this attraction element. So like right now, the people are gravitating to you. You're discovering this new journey, this walk, and that this is your life, not just for a phase. This is not a phase because we focus on okay. There are such thing as a short term happiness. We don't connect with those. We connect with the long term happiness. This is long term substantial joy. This is the path that you're on. That's how we know it's the real path. Like you said, and you felt it. This is the you could tell that this is not a short term happiness. Like, oh, you got something good for the day or for the week. Right. This is meant to be lasting. That's right. A pleasure. Good, 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 good. Beautiful. Okay. All right. We will. Woo. Oh gosh. That's what I'm talking about. So, my client is going to go work with not celebrity, royalty, not just any royalty, guitar, the one that's the guitar family that our President Trump went to go visit. Yeah, my client is going to go work with them. Actually, working. She's a governess, and so she's gonna be working with little prince and little princesses, real ones. So yeah, just got the contract, signing the contract today. Signing contracts already. Well, yeah, predictions. I said yeah, by this week it happened. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. Hmm. Yes. So that's what I do. A pleasure. Okay. A pleasure. Yes, you're feeling the good energy, the good vibe, as like you said, and that's a good thing. And this is going to assure you that you are completely immersed. 'Cause that's really important for you to not only be on the path, but to be immersed in this type of path. Because life for you is going to flow very differently than it has. Hmm. 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 Yes. Right. So, well, she. I hear you. They're just trying to figure you out still. They're trying to figure you out, and they just needed a little bit more assurity that you were in. But like behind the scenes, what you didn't see, they were voting for you. By the way, the mom, the right, the grandparents were voting for you. The grandmom, they liked you and was voting for you and hoping that everybody would choose you. But when they begin to open up so that you could see it, is going to be when you go to guitar with them. Then that's when you're going to really hear them, hear her, really engage and interact with the grandmother. She likes you. She's being reserved right now. She's being a bit reserved, but then she's gonna open up once back at home, and then that's when you really are gonna be like, okay, now you could feel that she does like you or has taken a liking to you. You're better to feel it. Mm-hmm. 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 Right. Okay. Hmm. Right. Well, it felt like this is a time to get to know them. I didn't sense that your actual work was going to really happen until guitar. Like this is just the bond, more or less. So I think you're going to be spending. I think they're going to have you with them directly with them, like a lot. Like the whole like you're going to feel like the whole time. That's because they're like like you're gonna be with them quite a bit, and on the inside, they describe it and very close. Like they're gonna hold, as they say, they're gonna hold you very close to them. So that's why I believe that they're wanting you to kind of like have all of this time, and then it'll lighten up where then you'll have like other things that you're doing, other tasks. But I mean, but on the trip, it feels like you might even sometimes feel like, gosh, it feels like too relaxed. Like there's so much more that you can do. Right. You might feel like it's a little laxed sometimes. Other than you having to be on call, like you're there with them on call. That other than that, you might feel like, oh, other than that, it's laxed. But it's not going to be like that uh, on the next side of it. Hmm. Okay. Right. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Right. You are probably going to have more, well, 1,000% correct. You'll have more to do when you're there in guitar. You'll feel like you're back in the way that you like to work, where you've got like four things and more you coming at you on the things that you need to get done. But it feels like this journey to the Americas, I mean, with you with them, it feels like I know that it feels like there's more work. I mean, excuse me, there's more social like connection than work. Even on their part, it feels like it's more almost like a vacation as opposed to like serious meetings. Like they may have a few meetings here and there, but overall it feels like this is a getaway for a minute and then pick you up and at the same time get you acclimated, and then get back to work, which is their guitar. The real work is guitar. Mhm. Well, that's so in the next journey, one thing is for certain is your life so far is like building your future career, like so, well, another aspect of your career, I guess. Certain hobbies that you're interested in the creative pursuits. This is a wonderful place to begin preparing the mind. And I get the strong sense that you will have the ability to, as you say, having some time to yourself. And by the way, I was looking today. They said that they're definitely gonna. I know they said this before in their own in Spirit's own way, but they said, no, we want you to make sure you're having time to yourself because they said they're really big on saying they like that they love you monetarily. So they're saying no, we're making sure financially that you're not just saving money. You're not just you're saving money. No, you're giving money so you can also have a life of your own. Of course, you're choosing, of course, to follow your creative pursuits as well in that. So it's like they're making sure like these days you speak of that you will have to your for yourself. Like they're going to be very serious about when your time is your own, that you're taking that time as your own. And so I can see that this is a wonderful idea, to begin. I know it's a far distance into the future, like 2026 things, or like very like later on in the year, like we're talking about like November, type December-ish, when you might maybe start really, maybe we'll go a little, work a little faster with it, but it feels like it would be definitely 1,000% something that is being presented 2026 in terms of your personal things that you intend to do. That's very favorable. That has a lot to do with your creative pursuits. Um, but definitely 1,000% beginning, starting that this year. And your alignment. Oh, by the way, the trip I believe is going to go quite well. The trip is going to you're going to enjoy the trip. So, just as you on a personal level, you were going to say, I enjoyed the trip so much. I enjoyed, you enjoyed spending time with the family, and what your work is going to do, and plus, more work is moving, in your direction, and you're going to be okay. You're saying you can't, like, you're looking forward going to Qatar. I think you are now, but even throughout the trip, I'm saying I think you're going to even say, okay, now you're ready for the next one. Now, if you recall, the guide said that that contract perhaps what may even happen like while you're on the trip, like maybe somewhere near the end. Like you're going to get that contract pretty fast, and like maybe even before you, because sometimes I see you like having the contract, the second one being ready before you even go home, before you, like say, like you said, maybe go back home for a little bit, maybe wrap up some loose ends and type some loose ends, and then now it's time for you to go to Qatar. So it's something like to that effect. Like you're already gonna have. I mean, it's gonna be like easy steps, like 1 or 2 steps, like sign and send it back. Something like to that effects. Very quick, and they may even want to do it before, like, or by the end of the trip at some point. I get that feeling. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good. Right. Mm-hmm. 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 Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Well, uh, well, according to the reading, you do manage that. You do manage that, but it's like he's describing. It's for a very short time. It's like very brief. It's only like the moment you sign, you're already ready to go to guitar, but just enough time, like you said, just to grab, the rest of your belongings. They said tie up some loose ends, and then you're off again. It's like that's very very quick. It probably, like you said, maybe even less than 2 weeks. Might feel like it's less than, like it was no hardly any time at all. And but I get the sense that navigating, to get back on back with them, so that you're on your way to Qatar, but from your home, I get the sense that that's still very much like in alignment. That's what I see. they seem to be okay with that, like reception wise. They seem to, like, of course, you're picking up life. Hmm. Well, most importantly, the way that it's stated is the family illustrate that they're paying you very well. You're taken care of so well, and you of course you're working very hard when you are working. That they want you to make sure that you are having a life for yourself, and that you're creating happy moments, beautiful moments. They're going to stress that so much. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that comes along with the next part of that answer is that so they're making they're paying you, of course, and you're afforded a comfortable uh, life to create a social space that's healthy, a healthy one, but at a more comfortable sort of level or space within this a society. By the way, is wealth vibrations, comfort vibrations, the level where you're going to be at, and so you're pulling in favorable potential suitors. And I believe that it feels very much that okay, so education is very important to you, right? So education also with potential suitors, the one, especially the one that we kind of been pulling into the reading. He comes in, he like this is extremely important, his education. And in fact, I even still see sense that he's associated with maybe maybe even as a professor or something about something university wise. He has these qualities about him, and I get the sense that you will meet him in your social space is what I felt that you, of course, that is developed, and because you're well supported socially as well. And I get the sense that you're going to be very you're going to feel very comfortable, one, but like you said, you're you know how you're attracting people now. Well, you're also going to be attracting very specific people, and he's one of them. He's one of the ones you're going to attract. Hmm. Well, this is regarding the people whom in this. Okay, so we had to get you energetically prepared. We got you energetically prepared to attract good thoughts that become manifest. Now we're also going. Now you're preparing your energy of the body to prepare to attract people you haven't met before. So in this new, right now you're attracting, people around you. Well, you're also going to attract people there and in Qatar, and he's one of the many. He's one of the many you're going to attract. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yes. Oh, and these other individuals, perhaps will represent, your creative pursuits. Mhm. The dark hair, the facial hair, tall, right? Distinguished. Speaks your language as well. Is mhm. Yes. I also love language because you're right about that because he and you do connect in a loving way, and he makes a move and says, it's a good idea you two meet up and talk. Right, absolutely love language. Yes, yes. You remember? You remember. In the fall, well, you said, I think it's going to be at least this year, but more so like, well, I say fall, but September. I know that the seasons, the seasons do what it does, but September, the fall, September, August, excuse me, August, September, that was the vibration. Those, particularly these 2 months, to that means your social life is going to start right, straight to like quickly, very quickly. It's very fast paced there. You may already feel that. Okay, okay. Hmm. Well, according to the reading, you do know that you're going to eventually elevate to where you're working, where it's staff. Of course, you're working with them, but also, I saw variations where you are put in charge of areas as well yourself. So some may even find themselves, in some way. I know working together, but maybe working with or under you in some, or in a supportive role in some way. You'll find that you have that you're going to have a bit of a leeway. Or when I say like working, maybe someone working underneath you. Sometimes I see you working like absorbing other people's duties. Sometimes I see that. And they're supporting you wherever they may, and then that's the staff. Oh, that's right. Oh yes, you're gonna be absolutely like trusted. In fact, the first words I called you were, they see you as the primary, like you're primary. Hmm. Hmm. That is happening now, but even more so, in like the contract for America. Hmm. A pleasure. I'm so happy. We'll do that. Mhm. Oh my gosh. That's what I'm talking about. Now, okay, good, fair. And that's why nobody can say anything to me. Nobody cannot tell me that is not beautiful. No one can tell me. No one cannot tell me this isn't beautiful. I feel like I need to go shave. I feel like a nice clean shave right now. I'm gonna get smooth skin. That is what I'm talking about. That is beautiful. That is that is life. And she is European, and the family, Qatar family, is Arab. They're Muslim, and they're going to get along just fine. And they're the royal family who, our president Donald Trump went to go visit, knows them. Hmm. And they're bringing her to America. Yeah. Oh, she's going to Disneyland. And she's gonna get to know them, and then she's gonna go to guitar with them. And she's gonna be living in guitar as a governess. And my client says she's feeling fantastic. She's got her little dharma going on. She's attracting all these people. She's got a good life. She's in her feminine. She's elevated. Her son is sent off to the Navy. He's having the time of his life. They're throwing his mattress down the stairs. He's good. She comes to America, go to Disneyland. She gonna be in America for like they said, like I think they said 10 weeks. Then she's gonna get the rest of her luggage, and then head off to Qatar. And that is a psychic reading. That is what we do. Mhm. Okay, I'll be right back. We're not playing with y'all. Y'all tried it. You guys tried to come in here. You guys tried it. You tried to come in here. Please. Blue fairies. I create blue fairies. Mary Poppins. I create Mary Poppins. What are you talking about? She says she's coming in there and she gonna float there with her umbrella and her luggage. You know, there with her blue light and her wings. And she sounds like a lot of fun. They're gonna have a lot of fun too. They are getting somebody beautiful. Oh my gosh. She's creative. She makes costumes and for plays, and that's what she wants to do. So she's really big into sewing. Like she's lady, and she's smart. Like she knows university things. Uh, top pristine private school. She instructs. They're gonna get all of that. Hmm. Education. She's a governess. Like yeah. Pretty penny. Pretty penny. Hmm. Yeah. So, okay. So again, I'm gonna say it a little slower. Uh, even people from different countries, across cultures and race, you can find love and in it light. You can find beauty. You can in beauty. You can find light in it, within the beauty. That's what the kind of relationships that I'm talking about. I'm talking about that right now. Okay. Mm-hmm. So You all, people just need to relax. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. People, y'all need to relax and let me do what I do. Let me just do my work. How about that? You'll just let me do my work. Let me do the work, the fabulous work I do. Please. Hmm. I'm so proud right now. I'm excited. I don't know what to say. Oh my gosh. I don't know what to say right now. I'm so proud. All I've ever wanted was just things to work out for my clients. That's all. I just want them to be happy and have everything that they ever hoped for and dreamed. That's all I want. And if I can just do that, then I know I've done a good thing, okay? I'm gonna continue to do great work. Yo, this is what I do all day. Bring love and light into people's lives. This is what it's about. Wow. You mean people say this about me every day? Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. This person, whoever's next, cannot compete with the last one. Exactly. 1 second. You guys, my clients are winning. How can you not be happy about that? I don't get it. I don't understand. How can you or how can anyone not be happy about clients who people who reach out and they see, they want to touch, the hem, the light, and you not be happy for them? I don't understand. My God, today you should be happy. You should hold on. You should be happy for them. And you should be happy that they are telling you the truth. These are their real experiences. And you shouldn't deny their experiences. This is experiences that they're sharing with us, that they're having each day of their life. They're making something of themselves. They're growing and they're working to be better, and they're becoming good people, and they are helping others. Other people are saying that they can see the change in them. Other people are saying that they are bringing something of value into their life, and that they want to create a beneficial relationship with them, my other clients. You you gotta be happy for them sometimes. You gotta happy. If you happy for other people, you get that back. Other people will be happy for you. Okay, you gotta get in the habit. You gotta make it a habit. You have to get in the habit of being there for other people, because other people will be there for you. Now, never before have I ever had to tell people that, hey, you're going to be happy for the people. Other people also in turn can be happy for you. Uh, um, okay, so it's like this. Like that. Then I go like that. Um, is it this one? Yeah. So you already know I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tell them. I know. I am definitely just the tattle. Oops. Does that work? I don't know. Ugh. Eee. No. I don't like that. Never mind. Um. Maybe we should change this. Okay. So this one does. Um, hmm. Okay. I'm gonna try this one more time. Is it this one? No. No. Okay. See if this is any better. Yeah, better than the first one. All right. I'll find out if it worked. Nope, that wasn't. Well, it's not that bad. It is. Mm. I don't like it. I'm trying to figure it out. Uh, hmm, mm, maybe for some reason. Let's try this again. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Okay. Um, and I need to. Yeah, got it. Okay, now I added. We coming for y'all. Don't worry. Y'all wanted it. We gonna give it to you. Sounds like a serious threat. Yeah. Put it down. Come on. Yeah, nice and we can do better than that. Yeah. Okay, about right there. Make it where. Okay. Now I just need to go. Ah, beautiful. Well, I wanted to turn. Come on, look towards the camera. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm. Let's go. Ain't gotta look all fancy. I need to get this. I need to get this screenshot. Okay, how do I? Okay, so I go like this. No, that's the wrong one. Uh, this is one. So go like that. Go like that. Oh, you're not doing there. Okay, leave a thumbnail. I'm learning how to do this much faster, but I'm 3 hours in. Come on. Okay, so how would we go like that? You down. Go like it. Yes. Ah, yeah. Hey, what's this blue thing going on here? Huh? It's got a little. Oh, okay, never mind. Beautiful. Okay. Hold on, let me make sure. Mm, What? What is this little? Yeah. Okay. Now I snapshot. Go like that. Now let's go test it out. Ah, okay. Let's see. Yeah. Now let's see what they got us. Take that. Wait a minute. This isn't. This is not quite right. Whoops. Okay. And no, no. Okay, hold on. Um, oh yeah. Let's go with this one. No, that didn't work out. Okay. Um. Hmm. Let's check this out. Is this better? Yeah. Okay. Now, hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, so now we come over. Okay, now let's see. We gotta make war. Hold on. Now, now, there we go. Finally, it took me a minute to figure that out. Okay, we made war. I want them to know who sent it. Hmm. Okay, there. Okay, there we go. We gotta, we gotta know who sent it. Yeah, let me go to the All right. Making sure the thumbnail right. Okay. And we can gotta take that down. Okay. So I screenshotted it. I made a thumbnail of it. That way, you all can read the thumbnail. Okay. So I just wanted to. Okay. There we go. So that's a feedback, and I shared the other feedback as well, and also my response to the feedback. So there you have it. So we can put them side by side. That way, you know what I'm saying. Hmm. Okay. Okay. So, and I also put it on my Twitter too. It's on Twitter. Yeah, so it's on Twitter too. So, right. Okay, so I figured it out. Now I have to be a little faster. I'll figure it out. But yeah, I needed to put that out there in the open. Like, I'm an open book. So, yeah, I'm not keeping any secrets. And I'm not going to keep anybody who's harassing me secret either. I'm gonna turn inside out. So, all right. Especially after a call like that followed that. This call with my client celebrating with me their success. They're gonna work with the Guitar Royal family. Oh no, turned inside out. That here go. Yep, that's the one. Uh, there they go. That look that there you go. I sure did. I'm not keep. I don't. We don't keep secrets over here. We don't keep secrets. Now I can keep. I can't keep secret. I can. I'm the bone keeper. But I'm telling you this. If I'm in an abusive relationship, I'm telling. I'm telling anybody and everybody. I don't care if you call me Tattletale. Okay. So I know. So yeah, I know they're gay. Like there are five famous psychics, and there's people, they, manipulators, and that's the middle people, and the royalty people. They're having conversations with me. The royal governess, they're talking to me, and they're like, "You said this." I'm getting all that. I'm getting all of it. That's right. And people just got to be mad about it. They just mad. This is what it is. So okay, we blasted it on Twitter. So now we just need to let's see. Hmm? Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, so there's that one. I don't think I need to do Phoebe. I definitely need to do these. Bow. I don't need to do. I don't need to put it on Phoebe. I just go that far. I went pretty far. I did get. I do. I did tweet. I did do Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. Um, Phoebe. I mean, I could do Phoebe, but I'm not really. I may. I might do it a little later. Definitely Twitter. It's on Instagram. Definitely. Um, is that all? I think that's it. Okay. No, I'm cool about it. I'm pretty cool about it now. So I know they are bothered. They've got to be bothered. Okay, I'm gonna close this one down. And yes, I sure did. I put it this time. This one I'm gonna start doing. I'm not. I am. I am. Um, not to be gang stalked because I will tell on you. I will tell on you on your on your whatever color whatever color you are. I will tell on you. I will. You're not going to gang stalk me. You gonna gang stalk me? You uh, uh, ah. I will. I will go on Instagram. I will go on Twitter. On my Twitter, I will go on my no Facebook. No Facebook. We're not gonna go Facebook. But I will go on LinkedIn and I will broadcast. I will tell on you. I do not suffer in silence. No man. No, not this one. This one, America. Oh no, not me. You the one you have met your match. Now the whole world expose you. The world know about you. You and your all your little gang members.